Hello, World Civilization 106 class. Welcome to week one. And I want to say that I'm really excited to be teaching this class. This is the class that I have taught the longest, and I've modified it to really have a focus on religion. Now, the reason why I focus on world religion is because, first of all, I find it more interesting, let's say, than doing global grain production or focusing on warfare and battles. All history is relevant, in my opinion. I'm focusing on world religions, one, because we cover so many different cultures. I figure everyone has an opinion about religion. And so let me clarify something really quick, that you are not going to get indoctrinated into any religion. Your own personal beliefs will not be an object of I'm not going after anyone for anything. I am aware that most of my students, many of them will be people of faith. You will be a devout Christian. You'll be a devout Hindu or Muslim. Some of my students are going to be atheists and witches. There's all sorts of options that we have in modern America to practice, and in this country you can practice whatever religion you want, or you can not practice a religion. But what I want you to be aware of is that this is going to be the best way for you to just get a minimal understanding of belief systems that have developed historically in as many parts of the world that we can cover in this class. And most of my students, regardless of where you are, where they've been at in terms of faith and religion, have enjoyed this class and my approach to it. Now, we start off, ironically to some, with the topic of evolution, which might be the most controversial topic of all for communities of faith. Why am I starting it off here? The textbook is starting it off here. Is there a conspiracy? Keep in mind, you are not required to believe anything that's taught in this class. So by participating in this class, you are learning certain perspectives that come out of the world to explain the origins of the world and the universe. That does not mean that you are agreeing to those. Okay? So let me give you an example of what I mean. The textbook has to find a place to start human civilizations. Now, the Bible, in the book of Genesis, the word Genesis is a Greek word, but in Hebrew, the book is called Bereshit. Bereshit means in the beginning. And that is the word that is given right at the beginning of chapter 1 of the Bible. Bereshit bara. In the beginning, he creates. He's created. God's creating. So it starts there, okay? But that's not how everybody's textbooks start. Sorry, not textbook. That's not how everybody's holy book starts. And that is the religion of Jews and Christians that go by that. And then there's the rest of the world. So where do we start this? How do we start this? The textbook starts with secular archaeologists' interpretations of humanity. And one is that human beings and apes have a common ancestor, and that all life is related, that has DNA, and that there is something called evolution. Now, once again, what you are learning is what they believe. So if this is not something that you believe, this is just like anything when you're having a discussion with somebody, and let's say they're your neighbor, and you say, well, I believe, I go to church on Sunday, or I go to the mosque here, or you go somewhere, you go to the synagogue or the temple, and they say, oh, I don't do that. I do something else. And you might say, oh, I see. Well, you do your own thing and I do mine, but okay, you're just learning about how others view the world. And I think that if you kind of accept that, for those of you who are members of faith and that are feeling uncomfortable with the start of this, and you're looking at the syllabus and going, am I going to want to stick this out? Most of my students, like I said, religious or not, have enjoyed this. For some of you who are not religious, you may not see where the controversy is at. the point is, I want everybody to know that we're all coming into a class to learn about the world with a different set of experiences and a different set of knowledge and value systems. And so what I'm hoping is to simply add to your knowledge of the world, and then you do with that what you want. Okay? Like, so I'm not actually saying what my own opinions of all of this will be. Some of you might be surprised where I agree or disagree on any of these given topics. And the point is I'm trying to get you to see is that, again, this is not a theology class. This is a history class, and we're learning the history of the development of religions. Okay? So it's very different. So when we get into our discussions, also I want you to keep in mind that you're not debating about what you think sounds more real or plausible, unless we're talking about a debate about the history itself, like what evidence there is for historical developments. Okay, so if we read a text and they say that historians debate whether or not China, the influence of Confucianism really did affect Buddhism, or vice versa in a particular context, well, we can debate about that. If you think you have a stronger knowledge of the history, or you read the history and you have a different opinion. But we're not going to say Confucianism makes much more sense and is more logical than Buddhism or Christianity or vice versa, right? See, that's not what we're getting into. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so having said that, in terms of the work, I give you examples of what a Sunday paper should look like and video notes. I am trying to make this very clear. You have to have the citations within the text. You do not need a bibliography. You must have dates. You can only work with the material that is covered in each week's module. The textbook is not required, but it's highly recommended. I think you should get it. It's going to help you with Sunday papers. Your Sunday papers, you can only use the textbook if you want. You can use the textbook with the video notes, use the videos. You could rely only on the videos for your paper on Sundays, or a mixture with the readings, other alternative readings that I also have in the modules for the readings section and the links there, okay? So that's what you work with. Obviously, this is the first week, and many of you are going to be trying to get familiar with this. Keep in mind, of course, I also mentioned I don't use the calendar. Work will be due on Thursdays by midnight or Sundays, and probably later on, it'll mainly all be due on Sundays. But just keep in mind to look at the weekly work objectives there. I will open up with a video announcement that you must watch like this, and I'll have the weekly work objectives and the readings opened up every Sunday, usually earlier on each Sunday, like around the afternoon and on Sundays is usually when I'll have it, but no later than now. No later than the evenings on Sundays will I open up each week's module. I work 2 jobs. I'm very busy, but I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So just make sure you communicate with me the best you can on any issues, and we can resolve it. I suggest you write to me on Canvas. You can write anytime. Texting 11 o'clock in the morning, I mean from 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. is okay to text me, but not before and not after, okay? With any questions. So I'll leave it at this for now. I hope you're going to enjoy this class. And like I said, be in contact with me if you need to know anything else, or if you ever have any questions that you want to go into about the material we covered. And so that's it. So have a great week, and we will be in touch.